Hi, I'm Candice and you're watching Homeschool on the Hill. And today I'm going to do a tutorial on how you can make your own custom homeschool planner. I had a lot of requests after you guys saw my lesson planning video and specifically about the templates that I designed in Excel. And a lot of you wanted to know how you could make your own. And so that's what this video is all about. But just understand I'm not very techie, but I'm going to walk you through my process in Excel. So here I am in Excel, and I am first going to start working on the 4 columns, 4 because one for each of my boys, and then this column right here all the way to the left is going to be for the date. Now I'm going to just zoom in a little bit, try to make that a little bit easier to see. Now I want to show you a trick, and there might be another way to do this, but I want to make sure I know where the parameters of my pages, where that falls. And so what I'll do is just go to print preview here and try to, I'll just cancel out of it right away, and I'll get these little dotted lines that let me know this is where my page ends here as far as how wide the page is. And then if I scroll down, you see the other one, it shows me how long the page is. And now I'm having trouble scrolling back up. I received a new mouse and I haven't really learned how to use it yet. Over here, we'll go over here. Okay, sorry about that. I told you guys I wasn't techie. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is adjust the width on the first column, which is going to be for my date, and I'll show you guys that in just a minute. But first I just want to adjust the width, and I only want it to be about 5. So I went to Format, Column Width, and adjusted that width to 5. Then these next 3 columns are going to be for my boys. And just to keep it simple, I'm going to say boy number 1, tab over, boy number 2, tab over, boy number 3. All right, so that's all I need. And so these 3 columns here, I want to make nice and wide. I want them to go all the way to the edge of the page. And so what I'm going to do is actually go back to Format and Column Width, and I've highlighted all 3 of those columns. I'm going to see if I can get away with making those columns 25. I can. Sometimes what I do is play with it a little bit more and push it because I want to get them as wide as I can without passing over the parameters. And as you can see, I just did that. So now I have to go back to 25. See, I got greedy. That's what happened there. So anyway, let me go ahead and just adjust that back to 25. Now we're within the parameters where we need to be. I'm not going to adjust the row height just yet, but that will be important later on. Now, I don't want you guys to have to sit through this for an extended period of time, but I am going to begin typing in all of my boys' different subjects that they're taking under each of their columns. So now that I have all of the different subjects typed in for each of my boys, you might notice here for my youngest son, I didn't type in history. That's because he shares it with his brother, and I'm going to show you how I combine those. Same thing with the read aloud. But each boy has 8 different rows under their name, and I'm going to go ahead and show you quickly how I'm going to combine shared subjects. So I highlight both cells, this one under my middle son and this one under my youngest son. I highlight those cells and simply click Merge and Center. Now it does center the text, which I don't want, so I'm going to click the left align or align left button here, and that'll pop the text back over to the left-hand side of the cell, which is where I want it. I will highlight the read aloud cell here under my middle son and the empty cell under my youngest son. And the same thing, I'm going to click Merge and Center, and then I want to align the text over to the left again. So not too bad, huh? Now what I'm going to do is just highlight all of these cells, and I am going to simply click that I want all borders on there. And then what I'll do is add one nice thick outside border. So you can see the inside borders, the lines are a little bit thinner, and then on the outside it's nice and thick. Okay, now here comes the easy part. Everything I have here is good for one school day. And since we don't really change up our activities a whole lot on the different days of the week, except for Friday, all I have to do is copy. I'm just going to highlight all of these cells, all of the rows, all of the columns here. I'm going to go up to edit and I'm going to click copy. And I'm going to go right here to the cell below where I just finished. And I'm going to go up to edit and click paste. And how easy is that, right? There's my Tuesday. Now I'll click right below Tuesday and it should let me repeat that. Yes, it did. So now I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And what I'm going to do here, because I know that I'm going to do something a little different on that second page. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday go on my first page. On the second page is Thursday and Friday, and then a little notes section. So what I'm going to do is skip this right here. And I'm actually going to click below. I'll show you why I did that. And then what I want to do, it's not showing me the same thing. Let's see if it will let me paste. Good, it did it. And then one more time. That was Thursday. Let's do it one more time for Friday. All right, awesome. Now we have Monday through Friday. Now, the one thing I was going to tell you is the reason I didn't put anything in this one row is because my boys' names go across the top of that second page as well. So what I'm going to do here is copy all three of these rows, just like I did the other ones, and click copy. Go down here where I left that blank and hit paste. Ta-da! I want to show you guys, because this is not how we're going to leave it, even though it's looking pretty finished. We still have a good bit of work to do. If I go and try to do a print preview, you can see all 5 of my days are on one page, which is totally not what I want. And so we're going to change that by adjusting the row height. And what I might do to adjust, when you adjust a row, you only need to click on one cell in that row and it will adjust the height for the entire row. So here's the row moving all the way across, and I want to adjust the height of this row. So I've just clicked inside one of the cells on the row, go to Format and click Row Height. It says that the height of this row is already at 17. Let's say I want to make it 20 for whatever reason. I'm just throwing a number out here. You get to play with this on your own. And then I've decided where I have the boys' names, I want their names to be centered. And actually, I'll have to highlight all of those cells to do that, but to center their names. And let's say I want to make the font a little bit larger. So maybe I want to go all the way up to 18 so their names really stand out. Now, if it looks like something's being cut off here, you can kind of adjust where it falls on the in the cell by playing around it here. Just like you can align left and right and center, you can do the same thing up and down. So anyway, I have the names right here. And I've adjusted the row height and all of that fun stuff. And so now I want to do the same thing down here where I have the other boy 1, 2, 3. I want to just adjust that row height to be 20. And let's say I want to go ahead and do a font of 18 and I want to center it up and woohoo. But we still have everything pretty much on the same page, which is not what we want. And so what I'm going to do is take everything I want on page 1, which starts right here. This is the bottom of page 1. And I'm going to go all the way up to the top. Except I'm going to come right under where it says boy. Because I've already played with that row and I don't want to play with it anymore. So I'm going to highlight Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday here. And I want to start playing with the row height. So I'm going to highlight everything and go to row height. And I can just copy whatever I do for Thursday and Friday. But what I'm trying to do is get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday all on one page. Let's say that we want to try to make the row height for all of them 20. What does that do to our page? I just kind of throw numbers out here if you can't tell. Okay, so right here I can see where the page breaks. See the dotted line? But I can still see that boy number 1, boy number 2, boy number 3 are still on page 1. And actually, I'm going to want those on page 2. And so I can actually play with this a little more. And I have some options. I can decide how I really want to do this. Do I want to adjust all the rows or do I want to go in and zero in on certain things? Let's say, well, I know that I want to make our English rows bigger or something like that. Now, what I'm going to do, I think, is just make all the rows larger, and that way I'm not confusing you guys. So let's do row height again. Last time I adjusted it to 20. Let's see what adjusting them all to 22 looks like. You can see the page break here, still on the same page. So now I want to do it again. Some of this is just playing around. There might be a better method than what I'm doing, but you guys, I'm self-taught when it comes to Excel. So if you know an easier way to do it, please feel free to do it. All right, now I adjusted them to 25, but we are still not to where the page break is. So I'm going to do another one here. I said I adjusted them to 25. Let's try adjusting all of them to 26. Still on the same page. I know this is getting boring, you guys, and I'm sorry. This is the only way I know to do it. All right, we hit that page break. If you look right here, you can see now that here's the page break, and then the next page starts with boy number 2, boy number 1, boy number 2, boy number 3. And so each of these rows ended up being, oh my goodness, let me see, what were those rows? 27. And so now I know I can do the same thing on page 2 to all of the different rows. And so I'll start right here below where it says boy number 1. I'm going to highlight all of these boxes, and I already know that what I want to do is create rows that are 27 because I want them to match the rows on the other page. And I'm not going to have any problem with this fitting because there are only 2 school days on this particular page, but I am going to have a notes section. We have a little bit more to do. We are not finished yet, but I just wanted to show you this. So now I will actually show you a print preview quickly, just so you can see what it's looking like. You can see page 1 here, and then if we look at page 2, we're going to have Thursday and Friday over there, and we're going to have a large area for notes. I'm just going to cancel out of that. Now, because I am not an expert when it comes to doing these types of tutorials, I am just now realizing that I have made a mistake and should have done something earlier and did not. So you guys forgive me. This is a step I'm going to have to take and should have done it earlier. But like I said, I'm not an expert. Okay, so what I'm doing is actually highlighting these 8 rows here by the date for what will be our Monday. And I've highlighted all 8 rows in this first column. I didn't mess with this one up here. It's fine. So when I highlight all of those rows, what I'm wanting to do is merge those rows. I don't need separate little cells in each one. I want them all merged into one giant row. And I'm going to want to put a border around that. And I would want to do the same thing for Tuesday and the other days of the week. So let me get here to Wednesday. Thursday and Friday. Now, I want to add in the text. Now, if I just simply go to this cell and I type in Monday, that does not look so good, does it? So there's a way to actually play around with this text. And so I just want to click on the cell that I'm using, and I want to angle this text, and I'm actually going to take it and I want to rotate the text up like this. See that? So now I have Monday. This is how I like it. You might not like it this way, but this is how I like it. And I can do the same thing for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And in fact, to save a little time, I think I can actually type all of these in. And then I think I can highlight them all at the same time. Go to the same feature here where I can angle the text and rotate the text up. Boom, got it. Now I do want to border each cell here. So let me do that. I think I missed one. I think I missed Wednesday. Poor Wednesday. All right, let's see what that looks like in the print preview. Oh, now we're getting somewhere, you guys. Now we're getting somewhere. So let's leave the print preview, and I'm just going to zoom out a little bit because I think it will help me. And let's focus on this notes section here, right below. We can clearly see where the page cuts off on page 2. And so one of the things I want to do is just go ahead and get my rows where I want them to write any information I want to write. I'm not going to mess with this. So how many rows? I'm trying to decide. What I can do is actually just highlight all of the ones that remain, but I know I'm going to make them a little larger. Probably not going to go up to 27 like we did for the boxes here, because I don't really need the lines that far apart. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge this entire section here and go ahead and put a border on it, and I'm going to type my text that says notes and do my little trick here where I rotate that text to where it points up, and I can even change it to where it's in the center if I want to. Now for this particular section, I can go ahead and merge all of these cells if I choose. Might take me a little bit of time, but I can do that. I mean, it's not the end of the world if I was to go row by row and merge all of these so they just look like lines. Not a big deal. Takes a little bit of time for you guys to deal with me clicking. Now you do know that you can adjust, and I'll show you in a minute, your font and size and all of that to your liking. And you can even adjust all of the colors to the borders, you know, everything the way you want it, perfectly customized. But I'm just going to let you personalize things. Now that I have done this, I want to go ahead and just give myself the all borders so the lines are a little bit lighter in here, and then a nice thick border box to surround. And now I have a notes section, so I'm going to preview that again for you and show you what that looks like. Scrolling right over to day 2. I wish there was a way to make this larger. It's a little frustrating to me. But anyway, that's about it. Now, right now, I could start playing around. I'm not going to center up my text for the days of the week because I actually write the actual date out beside it. And, you know, and I might just use numbers like 1, 20, 17 or whatever. Or I might actually write the date out however I choose to do it, and I have enough space there. So now I think, without playing around, I mean, if you wanted to play with the font, all you have to do is highlight anything that you want to change. If I wanted to change the font for each day of the week, I could. If I want to make things bold, I can. If I want to change the color, I can. You can do, you know, whatever you want to customize this. And I've played around with all sorts of things. Sometimes simple is best for me, but you guys can kind of make your own decisions. I do like Century Gothic. I don't know why, but I really like that font. So anyway, you get the idea, and it's as simple as an undo when you don't like something that you've done. But I think we should print this out and take a look at it. So what I'm going to do is go right up here. Actually going to print it this time, you guys. And I'm going to print it just like this, and I'll show you what it looks like. So one more thing I want to mention before I go. When you print these pages, be sure to print your first 2 pages on separate sheets, and that will be your front and your back page. Print the rest on both sides, and those weeks will just kind of layer in and sandwich in between these pages. And then you will have an opportunity to do, you know, a cover on the front, and you could even do something on the back. I did not, and I obviously just use a 3-hole punch and put these in a binder, but you might want to go somewhere like Office Depot or something and have them bound. Guys, I sincerely hope this tutorial has helped you. I know I'm not super techie, and sometimes I take the long route to do something, so that's just the best I know how to do, but I really do hope that it helped you. And if you make your own custom lesson planner for your homeschool and you want to share it with me, you can always take a picture of it and tag me on Instagram. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.